Hey. Oh, this is the look of all looks. You know, the thing is, I don't know if I ever cared that much what I look like on camera, but I truly know that over the years, my tolerance for what I accept has truly gone down the drain, because this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. I think this is the emptiest I have ever seen Trader Joe's. I'm parking right up front, baby. Like, I know I'm sweaty, but how does it get this bad? Oh my gosh. Hang on. I just realized today's video is all about stepping into 22. And I thought I was all lucky with this front and center parking spot. I'm supposed to be parking in the back of the lot, getting in those extra steps. Okay, well, kind of forgot. We're back on track. A perfect example of why there are no rules to this challenge, this mentality, because life's not perfect and neither are we. And we don't have to be. That's my way of covering my butt right now. So if you're going to be stepping into... You like the snow? As I was saying, if you're going to be stepping into 22, please put on more layers than me, because Taylor came very unprepared. Bring gloves and a hat. I've reached the level of frozen tundra. Reese is still going wild. Wait! Stop it! Thank goodness there's nobody around us, because she's loving this snow right now. Up the stairs we go. Stepping it on. Okay, I can't decide if I like the way that this looks or if I look just a little bit too much like Neil. Like, I like the sweater a lot, but I just don't know if I'm pulling it off in this moment. Maybe once my hair is done, we'll see. As you all saw, I made it very long and a little bit terrifying road trip to California to surprise my family for Christmas, which ended up being probably the smarter way to visit them anyways, because COVID's going berserk right now. But every time I go home, I forget how spoiled I am here with my delicious tap water. The Washington tap water is just superb, supreme. I grew up never ever dreaming of drinking tap water because in California, it's horrible. It's horrible. So I brought my big water bottle with me so I could get in, you know, my gallon a day. And normally I love drinking water. Like, it's something I look forward to. I love the taste of it. I love the way it makes me feel. I love when I'm just so thirsty and I grab my water bottle and I can just slurp up some delicious H2O. But at home, it was such a chore because I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to use plastic water bottles. I wanted to be using my water bottle so I could make sure I was still drinking my gallon, but I couldn't. Like, I just couldn't. The water was so horrendous. And I sincerely attribute that horrible water / Taylor not drinking enough to my horrible acne right now, because this does not happen when I live here and I drink this water and I wash my face with this water, like everything. I mean, I definitely had a lot of sweet treats, a lot of in and out, a lot of bad water. It was probably the combo wombo, but I'm not happy with the consequences right here and now. I also decided, I think the next time I go get my hair done, I want to go even more silver. Like, right now I feel like I'm a little bit in between and I want full throttle. baby. I think I just kind of forgot to keep asking for it. I was like, yeah, same as usual. When really I want to keep going heavy, hard, silver, metal, chromium, winter wonderland, ice queen. Elsa vibes, Daenerys. We're done. This is so embarrassing. So I just sat here debating whether or not I loved this sweater for quite some time. It doesn't really look that good on camera, I'm realizing. And I put it on and I'm brushing my hair and everything. Then all of a sudden I look and I brush my hair like this. Ah! What the heck? I'm so mad. Even if I didn't like this sweater, now I want to love it because now I feel like I can't wear it. But knowing me, I'm just gonna wear a long sleeve t-shirt every time I wanna wear this and just pretend it doesn't exist. Who remembers the Sharpie leggings? This right here is the hole. This is like so embarrassing, I just remembered this. Favorite leggings, high school, very similar. Something very, very small, something that you could kind of get away with. I used to use a marker and I would draw in the color of the leggings onto my skin so that if I was wearing the leggings out, you couldn't tell there was a hole. Exactly. And then, to make matters even worse, I was like, all right, well, maybe it's like a Regina George sort of thing. Should I make it symmetrical? Turns out, basically already is. What is happening? My pits are good. I checked those. I'm so sad. I should have looked better before I thrifted it, you know? That is my fault. That's my fault. I'm not changing. I'm not fucking leaving. I'm gonna try and make Keith and I like a really quick dinner. He went to go run some errands for me, wash my car, do some returns and whatnot, all from the road trip. So I figured I'd be nice and I'd make us both food before he has to leave for work in less than an hour. I was kind of thinking maybe the smartest thing to do would be this turkey bolognese from Trader Joe's, which is literally just the sauce and ground turkey all combined together. Delicioso. Then maybe I could also make this Barilla protein. This one's angel hair, which normally I don't like, but I'm interested to try it. It says per serving, you get 10 grams of protein. Dun, dun, dun. Maybe I could also make these, which I saw for the first time. Colorful carrot coins. A blend of lightly seasoned orange yellow, white, and purple carrots. Do carrots go well with spaghetti? I don't know, but they might go well with angel hair. The house is a definition of a disaster right now. Like, it is embarrassing and we will be tackling it. Sincerely, it is just a blend of everything. It's going on the road, it's leaving in a little bit of a rush, not fully cleaning up before we both left. Let's take a tour, shall we? I'm going to be very vulnerable right now and show you how bad the apartment is. I'm nervous. Okay, area number 1. This is clean, clean, clean. Dirty dog. This my manager sent me, which was so stinking nice. Thank you, Nick. So I need to go through that. Just kind of probably clean, maybe vacuum over here. But this is bad. And this bothers me a lot because as usual, I sit right there. Touring the kitchen isn't as horrible, but just like little things to put away. Like, I don't even know what the heck this is, but this is Keith's. That's fine, that's dinner. Maybe just like declutter. Like, why are there these things out? Clean dishes, which I need to empty. This needs to go. I need to try those things on, possibly return that. Undo the baggage from the trip. That's kind of the majority of what's happening over here. None of us have had even a single breath, a moment to undo our suitcases. I spent the entire day yesterday, which was my first full day back, just recovering. I tried to do other things around the apartment, but I couldn't even fathom trying to continue to clean because 1, I wanted to have my final day of relaxing, and 2, it was just so mentally draining getting back home. I couldn't even think about it. This is like the abridged version on how Keith and I ended up getting home. I was supposed to drive back with my friends Cassie and Blake, who drove me down from San Jose, get back into my car in San Jose, and then continue the journey up by myself, basically doing the reverse of what I did in my final Twistmas video. And that was all fine and hunky-dory until every single flight to Seattle was getting canceled. Keith had come down, he surprised my parents, but then on Christmas Day, Seattle gets this absurdly large snowstorm. And that wouldn't normally be like a bad thing in any other place that normally gets snow. But the thing about the Seattle area is that they're never fully equipped for snow because it doesn't really happen that often. I think in 2017, there was this known snowpocalypse where there was one singular snowplow for the entire downtown area of Seattle. The city basically went berserk. Like, the grocery stores were getting empty. People were stuck in their homes. They couldn't leave. It's very, very hilly in the city. Like, it was a complete and utter disaster. Like, it's all of this like big mumbo jumbo mess of the city not having enough infrastructure or the right infrastructure to prepare for these kind of snowstorms, the people not really expecting them, maybe not being fully aware of how to drive in those conditions. Like, it is just a hot mess. Keith's flights are getting canceled, like left and right. He was supposed to leave a Sunday morning. Flight gets delayed. Flight gets super delayed. Then all of a sudden it's canceled. We buy him another flight on a different airline. That's delayed, then it's canceled. Like, we're picking him up from one airport, dropping him off at the other. It was a nightmare. Then all of a sudden my sister says, maybe the best thing to do is to just get in the car right now and drive to San Jose. So that's what we ended up doing. My mom, my sister, Keith, and I, we all hopped in the car. It's only about 6 hours from where I live to San Jose, so it wasn't that bad. We left at maybe 5 p.m., got there at midnight. I got my car at Cassie's apartment. We stayed the night at a local hotel, and then I think at 4 or 4:30 in the morning, we all left and went our separate ways. My mom and my sister back to California, or Southern California, and Keith and I back to Seattle. And the worst part about it is that Keith had to go to work. So we were trying to make that drive, which should have been about 12-ish hours. We were trying to make that drive for him to get back for his night shift at like 5 p.m. Wasn't gonna happen, but we were hopeful. And we kind of knew the weather conditions weren't gonna be great, but we just kind of figured, you know what, we can do this. Keith is a very good driver. We felt very prepared. I wasn't really that worried, but Mount Shasta was where we were very nervous because that's the border between Oregon and California, and it's this mountain pass that you have to go through. I was very nervous for that, and that ended up being so beyond fine. Like, they were making it seem like it was the scariest thing ever. Chains required with no snow on the ground, so nothing was making sense, and it was beyond fine. That part was just annoying because the traffic was so slow getting through the mountain. It was totally fine. But the worst part of it all was actually right after we went through Portland, the snowstorm hit again here. And the whole drive from Portland to Seattle was awful. Thank goodness gracious, golly gosh, Keith was driving. However, like I said, he had to get to work. So we dropped him off at his car, parked at the airport, and then he went to work and I had to drive Reese and I home. And that was horrifying because, again, the freeways were not paved. The road, nothing was paved. I was going, I think, 30 miles per hour on the 5. What? It was beyond ridiculous. I am just grateful that I am here and I'm in one piece, and I was just slow and cautious as I could be. We ended up getting home at 10 p.m., which is absurd. We were in the car for 18 hours. You shouldn't be in the car for that long. And I've done that drive, obviously. You saw yourself, it shouldn't take that long. It shouldn't be that strenuous. Even the drive from Portland to Seattle itself should be boring. But instead, it was stressful and very snowy and very scary, and we just kept seeing people spin out on the side of the road because they were going so fast, and then they would lose control. When we were in San Jose, the rain was so hard that somebody spun out and hit a wall. God willing, I hope that they are okay. It was just an absolutely wild journey, and I am just so beyond glad that every one of us is okay. I felt bad that Keith had to go to work, but that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Now my whole house smells like turkey bolognese. So I need to light a candle. It smells just so stuffy. I grabbed this from Amazon. The a genius idea because I didn't realize how much I was wasting just endless amounts of plastic by buying throwaway lighters. And this one's fantastic. You just plug it into the wall and you recharge it. This candle is incredible from Yankee Candle, just the best candle company out there. I'm realizing in this moment, I never gave you all a proper house tour this year, but really there was not that much to see. Just take my word for it. I don't know why I felt so self-conscious about my decorations, much more than normal. Normally I take such pride in the way that I decorate for Christmas especially, but I've just been feeling super self-conscious about my house and like the way that I decorate things. Can you see how red my cheeks are getting from having the fireplace on? But if you're interested in seeing it, it looks pretty darn similar to last year's, and I did a video on that. I don't know, I just feel like next year I really wanna work on minimalizing everything in my home and just getting rid of things that I hold onto for so stinking long, or I think I need to buy because it's cute, but it really doesn't match anything in my home. That's my biggest issue. I try and match. No, I don't match, and I should match. I am wearing too many layers for this in my house. I always turn the fire on because it gets freezing, and then all of a sudden I look at the thermometer, the thermostat, and it's 76 degrees in here. And I've got wool socks on. No, I'm just kidding. These are from like Forever 21. I've got slippers on, a broken sweater. I've been trying to sit here and edit just a little bit. I'm not super big on New Year's resolutions. I think I used to be in the past, and then I would sit down and I would look at this ginormous list. Ginormous list. Are those the words? Ginormous. Why does that not sound like a word right now? I would look at this giant list that I would write onto my notes app or in my journal or something, and it would be like 12 items long. Everything more unrealistic than the last. I think I would just constantly get disappointed with myself when things wouldn't come true, and I got tired of it. Instead, I would just try and make little tiny propositions rather than saying, I don't know, I'm gonna lose 15 pounds. Instead, I started to shift my goals to say something like, I'm going to go on a daily walk. And it's not going to matter how long I walk. It's not going to matter the distance. I'm not gonna track my calories or whatever. I'm just gonna move. I'm just gonna move my body. Having that little tiny shift in the ways that I set my daily goals as well as my New Year's resolution goals helped me a bunch because it made things a lot more sustainable and just easy. Not feeling like I have this huge thing hanging over my head that would make me feel like a failure if I didn't complete. I also have to share this because I feel silly that I'd never really done it before, but I really think it's just changed my life. This right here is kind of like a rough draft of my video calendar for this upcoming month. I'm getting like Hermione Sorcerer's Stone hair right now. Every month I normally do something like this, but never this organized. It kind of looks like a little bit of a mumbo jumbo mess now that I'm kind of looking at it, but having it in this kind of style as a visual learner, so impactful for me. Normally I would just kind of write things down on a notepad or in my notes app, and that's fine. And it got me by for like 18 months, but I think I just need something a little bit more sophisticated. So I was using Keith's iPad. I would make it in Canva and then I would download it, write on it in the Good Notes app. And I think that's gonna help me be so stinking accountable for staying on top of my videos when they're getting edited and filmed and everything. And I did this exact thing for Twistmas, and I think that's what made me feel so successful in getting done on time. But that's kind of the boring side of things. Let's talk about the fun part of our fitness goals. Okay, so this is the iPad. All right, so like I mentioned, I make this whole base on Canva and then I fill it in with my own writing on Good Notes. So what we're looking at here is part personal training schedule, my workout of the day, an outdoor walk just for accountability, days I might go to a workout class, and then daily studying that must be mandatory for me. And then other goals like when I want to wake up, when I want to go to bed, what is pretty realistic for me. One of my main goals right now is to hopefully be training for a half marathon. I'll talk more about that in a later video, but I want to make running a very consistent part of my routine. That's why I want to include it at least 2 days of the week. That doesn't mean I wouldn't do it more, but just mandatory. It's got to be at least 2 days. I don't want to forget, to do some sort of strength training exercises. So I want to make Monday all about the glutes, baby. And I'm actually going to be trying one of my friends, Imperfectly Page Wellness. I'm going to be trying out her program. I think it's just a 2-day-a-week program. So I'm really excited to be incorporating that. But basically, this is how I want to remain consistent, remain accountable with myself, and make all of my goals actually come to life by looking at something like this, seeing it, and sticking to it. I think one of the biggest things I learned in the past year is you have to make things stupid easy for yourself. I'm gonna probably let myself down if I'm not constantly thinking this thing through. So if I wake up and I go to my computer like I always do, and I look at my schedule for the day, I look at what videos I need to be editing, but then I also have a personal schedule that shows me, hey, maybe I need to be studying today, or I should go on my outdoor walk, which if you noticed is literally every single day because gotta walk Reese, gotta walk out myself. I'm gonna be checking in with my goals. I'm going to be staying consistent with them. And then I just kind of have this reliable system that of course can be changed, but at least it's there as a baseline for me. One of my other biggest goals is to actually finish my personal training program. So as I said, I'm going to be doing daily studying for at least 2 hours or so. But on Sundays, this little orange indication is me studying for pretty much the entirety of the day, or as much as I can get in. Because I think what really matters is consistency throughout the week, but then also having bulk days where I can just kind of study as much as possible because I know it's not feasible in the middle of the week. Saturdays are like my mandatory rest days, and any other day of the week, of course, I'll listen to my body, but I want to make sure I have at least one day where I'm not really making myself do absolutely anything. And then I think 1 or 2 days on this guide, I also have it noted for myself to just maybe do an outdoor walk. So just kind of some active recovery, but not pushing myself in the gym. Come here, baby. Come. She never wants to come hang out with me. I was trying to remember what is like one of the biggest things I told myself I would work on this year. And I think it is truly finding a better balance with myself. It was one of the main reasons that I asked Amanda Wan to help me out editing my videos. She'll still be helping me out for a little bit longer. I'm so stinking grateful for her. Not even that, but just having a work-life balance. I feel like I forgot what that was. And that's very, very bad. And I miss, I don't know, that feeling of not having homework. Like once you graduate school and you realize like, I don't have to study when I go home. I can just come back and maybe do laundry, make dinner, and relax on the couch. I don't do that at all. That's pretty dang bad. Hey, thirsty. I think I realize a lot of my quote unquote free time is compromised for my workout time. That truly does take 2 hours of my mornings or whenever I squeeze it in. Like let's say recently I go for a walk, usually ends up being an hour. Even if I just do a quick 30-minute workout myself, I still like prep for the workout. You warm up, you do the workout, you cool down, take a shower, you eat your meal, and then all of a sudden you're like, it's been 3 hours? Where did the time go? So I realized that is a big chunk of my time, but that's also kind of like a portion of what I talk about all of the time. So I don't want to compromise that, but it's more like getting off your computer, putting your phone away, reading every night. I learned to love reading this past year, and I never get to do it because I never give myself the time for it. So having full days off on whatever days I want to call my weekend, and just like, you know, tuning out. Like it's 10 p.m. Nobody needs to be working past like 4. We need to be kinder to ourselves. I hope that you are all loving Step Into 22 so far. As you can see, like today was a little bit of a weird day. Like we had a lot of activity in the morning, and then towards the end of the day, it's slower. And that's how most days go for me. I don't constantly move around the apartment at all times trying to do Step Into 22, but I do my best. And I hope that you just give your best. Remember, there are no rules, there are no mess ups, because it's all about you and bettering yourself and just having a good time with it. So I hope that you are loving engaging with the Step Into 22 Instagram. It has been such a joy to be working on that and to see all of your posts and your tags and hashtags and tagging me, everything. It is so perfect. Please keep it up. I will hope that this goes on like past January, but for now it is a January motivated challenge. Make sure that you're following the Step Into 22 Instagram if you want to be held a little bit more accountable for the challenge. It is such a beautiful community over there, and everybody is just so stinking nice. I'm loving it so much. And of course, follow me at Taylor Woods with 2 L's on Instagram, on TikTok, same username. I love you all so stinking much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Don't forget to step into 22. Woo!